Hi James, thanks for joining me today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Let's just kick straight off. Please let us know what you do and how long you've been doing it.
My name is James Dabbs. I'm the founder of Dabbs Fitness. We are a boutique strength and conditioning personal training business based in central London. We've just opened our new gym in Mayfair. We were based in Marylebone for about 4 years, where we built a good reputation, a solid client base. We've now made our new big step into Mayfair in a much bigger space, about 1,100 square foot. We're very niche, I'd say. We're very performance-orientated. My background was in professional football, so that's what got me into the sort of fitness world. Maybe we can discuss a bit more of that later, but our kind of slogan, our tagline is train like an athlete. So we try and make sure that everyone trains like an athlete. We also believe that everyone is very individual, and we try, and even in a group setting, we try and make sure that everyone has a very bespoke service tailored to their sort of levels, needs, training goals, their body, their injuries, etc.
Okay, so the business is a business been going for 4 years then in the two different venues?
Yes, probably 5 years, I'd say. Probably 5 years. I started it as more of a hobby. Let's not a hobby. It was still a business, but it was more of a hobby initially, and then it kind of grew into something. I sort of realized, okay, I could be onto something here, and I just did it at the start because I enjoyed it, and then it just took off from there, really.
I imagine you've learned a lot along the way. What would you say is one of the biggest things that you've learned about having your own business?
That's a very, very big question, isn't it? Probably to lots of people, I'd probably say, don't do it. It's a hell of a lot of work. So that's the main one. Is you need to kind of be prepared to really put in a serious amount of work, and also be like, when you're in an employed job, you've got your paycheck week to week, month to month, and it's very stable. Whereas if you want to start a business, it depends where your background is and what funding you have. But you don't have stability. You don't know where the next paycheck's coming necessarily. Like a client, they might not realize it at the time, but in my early days, sort of having one new client is worth maybe 20%. If they're a very good client, they can be worth a lot of money. And so I'd say that's just something you should consider before deciding to open something. The amount of stress that you need to take, you need to grow some very thick skin quickly, and wear a lot of hats as well. And
do you have a lot of support around you? Have you got a team that works with you?
Well, my partner, Cornelia, she's very, very, very supportive. We kind of met when I was setting up the business, and she's become a very vital, integral part of the business. Started off with the odd bit of help here and there, and now it's pretty much every conversation we have, every dinner we sit down, she has to say, look, can we please stop talking about the business?
That happens so much.
Yeah, and then also my mum's very helpful. She's a female founder. She has a very big beauty business that she grew from nothing, which I saw her kind of grow it from when I was a child to now. So that's also a good point of reference I have, and I can ask her questions as well.
And is there anyone else in your past, in your either your football career or in the past when you've had a job? Is there anybody that stands out that's been really inspirational to you?
Well, that I've met, like that I've had personal kind of connections with, I'd say my dad was always really helpful, really inspiring, and gave me lots of strength. So probably that, and was always sort of telling me to pursue what I enjoyed and to believe in myself, and so he was very supportive.
You obviously have, and I've seen pictures of the gym. It looks really impressive. So congratulations on that. So tell me, so if you think about the way you are today, what's the biggest challenge you're seeing going forward for you as a business owner?
Probably sort of trying to grow, because I'd say our position is reasonably solidified now. It's reasonably stable, but actually that next step, we're bringing in 2 new coaches this week, actually. And so from making it a brand, trying to grow it as a brand and a business where I'm not kind of the main person anymore, but I can kind of trust people to help bring it forward as well, and making that step That's probably the main thing, and that's the main sort of ingredient where you can actually grow from a small business to a big business, is getting that right, I'd say.
Okay, brilliant. So if you were going to speak to a young person that's starting a business today, what would you recommend? Where would you recommend they start?
That's a very good question. I'd say like it doesn't necessarily need to be a passion, but like have a niche that you're very good at, or maybe you won't realize what that is initially. Like, for example, Steve Jobs, there's a famous video of him talking to, I think it was a university graduate, bunch of graduates, and he talked about his time at a university with a friend, and he was doing an animation course. It was something like that, and I think it kind of led to him doing the Pixar stuff, and it was just interesting because he was kind of talking about how he learned about the animation. And so in my case, it was the training aspect and the performance aspect I learned from playing football and sport at a high level. I didn't realize what it would lead me to, but I'd say to a young person, find that, whether it's a passion or a niche or something you're good at, and then from there, so instead of thinking about chasing the money, some people do that, I'm sure it works very well for them, but I would say instead of chasing the money, chase something that you've got a niche and a passion for, and that you're good at, and then kind of build the business, see the gap in the market from that, and see what's missing, understand it well, and then become an expert at that, and then build the business around that. That would probably be what I'd say.
Yeah, it's not like going from A to B, it's like going from A to C and then getting to B eventually.
Yeah. And hindsight's a beautiful thing. You don't always realize things.
Yeah. Brilliant. So so you're talking now about your gym, and you're in Mayfair. Whereabouts in Mayfair are you?
Just behind Bond Street Station.
Okay.
Just off Oxford Street. In between, there's a street that links, it makes a little L between Oxford Street and New Bond Street. Woodstock Street. Right next to Bonhams, basically the back entrance of Bonhams, the art dealership. So it's a really nice location, really niche.
It's a really good location. Yeah.
There's also two bars very close, within about a 30-second walk, that play the football. So that's fantastic for me as well. So after work, finish at 8 p.m. and I can go and watch the Champions League. So
business and pleasure.
And the World Cup as well coming up. So it should be handy.
Yeah, there's lots of great football coming up, isn't there? Yeah. And then the offer, so the clients and the customers that you have, they come to you for one-to-one personal training and classes as well, or is it just what does it look like?
So our main offering, it's personal training, which is pretty standard, but then we also do small group training classes, which we break those down into two categories. One is more like a small group strength class, where it's more about weight training, and one is a bit more conditioning based, so it's more like cardio, and it's more about building the engine. So those are the two classes that we offer on a schedule, which are bookable through our booking app. And then the third thing we do, actually, which is a bit of a niche that we started to get into recently in the area I'm in, especially. We offer private group training for a lot of the corporate companies. We look after their corporate wellness. So there's lots of private banks on like Berkeley Square, Hanover Square. So we basically offer their corporate wellness. So we can offer up to 12 or 15 even of their employees to come in and have a private training session with one of our coaches. And that's gone down really well, because that's a real niche. It's very rare.
You're in the perfect position for that, and especially near the squares. I was in Berkeley Square yesterday, and there were people doing boxing in the square, doing PTs.
Exactly. But because we're just right by there, and so that's a really nice option. Really good also for team building, and also it incentivizes people to come into the office a bit more. If, say, on a Tuesday or Wednesday morning, they know they've got a gym session, which is also free for the employee. It's like an employee perk, because the company's paying for it. So that's something that we offer as well now, which is quite nice.
Okay, brilliant. Well, what we'll do is I'll tag the you and the gym in the notes that come with the video, so people can check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for joining me today. It was really interesting, and I wish you all the best of luck with the new gym.
Yeah, thank you. Next time you're in Berkeley Square, come down and say hello if you want to have a drink.
Yeah, I won't be boxing, but I'll come and say hello. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers.